This is Calicats, the Calicatster, and this is a sort of a review of Disclosure Day. I took notes. It's been a while since I saw it. The Steven Spielberg movie, sort of cross between Close Encounters and a miniseries Taken about the aliens. A little bit of some of his other, a little bit of a chase movie, a little bit of X-Files. The premise is that these X-Files type characters who are led by a black dude are running this sort of espionage thing, and the bad guys with a sort of an Orson Welles type of dude. The bad guys, they're out to get in their rival company. He's fled the rival company to go work for the other one, and the main character, and the guy in the story, and he has a girlfriend who is an ex-nun, and there's a bunch of other, and there's another guy who is sort of a very Irish-looking redheaded guy, and he's the weather lady's husband. Yes, she's the wife. The weather lady is in the story. It's all in Kansas. Story, or at least this part is in Kansas. Kansas saves the world. And she begins speaking other languages, and begins acting weird after a visit from an alien disguised as a bird. The cardinal comes in, and it's an alien. Triggering a memory that causes her to have these bizarre instances of communication abilities that she didn't have before. She uses this mind trick to trick the bad guys and a cop and some other stuff. It gradually increases, but she doesn't know what she's doing. She isn't directly aware of it until after, when she tricks the bad guys. The good guys are constructing a house set so that they can reenact the abduction of our main hero character and the lady character that were abducted by aliens. That's basically the plot. How that would work, I do not know. There's car chases. There are bad guys shooting at them constantly. They could have been killed innumerable times in the story, which would mean the story was over if either one of them died. So clearly, neither one of them were going to die, because they had to get to, even with the coincidences, they had to get to a point where they weren't gone. So yeah, am I missing anything here? I'm going on about that. They use a holographic device at one point to cloak the house so that they can escape from the bad guys who surround the firehouse, the fire trucks in it. There's a lot of the bad guys earlier on in the story are tracking them using an alien wand device, which looks more like a shake weight, to tap into her mind, the lady's mind, the nun lady, and have her have an epiphany and stuff, and then possibly direct her to try and assassinate the husband, which fails, because that would be the end of the story right there. And then there's the boyfriend trying to escape. No, the husband, boy. I think they're boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't think either group is married. Might be wrong about that. The bad guy uses his men to cut the power to the TV station that's going to air the alien abduction footage. They try several ways to do that in the end. But the good guy has gotten hold of one of the devices, and she uses it, which she had earlier, to turn it back on. So yeah, we have a story that I saw a week ago, and I'm looking at the notes, going like, well, yeah. Let's see, transport guy. A lot of my notes here are just, oh, this guy went there and that guy went there. They're not very good notes. There's a green alien at the end. There's it's They use dedicated sets. It appears they might have used dedicated sets. I don't know if they used AI for the alien or not. I think it was a puppet. Anyway, so yeah, what are the? This movie is niche. It's on a par with the Close Encounters movie back in the day, which was him too, Spielberg. It has some issues. It's not a blockbuster. It's not going to set. You know, there's an exciting train chase scene that has a scene that Spielberg admits he added, where they're in the train car and they have this epiphany about the weather lady's husband, the weather lady's father had Parkinson's disease. She was worried she was going to catch it again because she's going to catch it from him, or inherit it. That scene was out of place, I thought, even though Spielberg, I want to do this scene in the train car after they calm down, after they go on the space thing and whatever. The train car after they calm down on the space thing. But I was thinking, that was a little weird. It didn't really work. They're not going to get together. So, yeah, the compassion idea that the aliens are... What is the alien motivation? What are they trying to do? Let's disclose that the humans were being mean to the non-biological creatures they captured in the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s. And name dropping all of these different UFO things from fame, from lore. I'm not going to go into all the name dropping at all. Suffice it to say, well, Roswell and Kecksburg were clearly downed Russian craft that they had to cover up to say it wasn't a Russian craft. So they were all like, oh yeah, both of those. It was a Russian balloon, Roswell, and it was a Russian satellite at Kecksburg. It was a satellite around with Cyrillic writing on it. Yeah, it's Russian writing, obviously. What else would it have been in the 60s? Russian bird. Anyway, so, yeah, there weren't aliens. I think there probably are aliens, but I would like to think that as a science fiction guy, I would like to think that they have a prime directive, like in Star Trek, and they don't want to have anything to do with us because we're too primitive. But it did harken back to the day the Earth stood still as well, which also did something similar at the end. But it's the opposite of War of the Worlds, which Spielberg mentioned in the interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, which made the story make a little more sense. So, anyway. So, yeah, it's perfectly fine. I wouldn't say it's best of the year. It's just perfectly fine. That's how perfectly fine, salvageable movie. It's fine. Yeah, I've got really not much to say about it after all this time. The special effects worked. The train scene was a little ridiculous. It wasn't a train chase. You kept calling it a train chase. It wasn't. It was a car chase to a moving train. In which case, the bad guys... Another thing that was weird about the movie. The bad guys are, as I mentioned earlier about the shootings and stuff in the story, bad guys are constantly trying to kill them. If at any point they do, the movie's over. So, obviously, they're not going to kill them. So like, they run them into a train at one point. Like a speeding train, that train thing and stuff. And somehow they get onto it. Their car gets embedded on the train, and they climb out of the car and get up onto the train, which is ludicrous and exciting at the same time. But wasn't a train chase. Not at all. They board the train somehow. Even though I think the train at that point after hitting a car would be stopping. Why did it keep going? That's kind of weird. You'd think it would slow down. It would stop. Because, yeah, they hit something. The conductor's going to stop the train. And we're like, oh, shoot. Find out what's going on. So, yeah. I thought. But, also the hotel room scene where they go out the back. They always go out the back window. It's a cliche. The farmhouse scene was a little different. That was kind of fun, though. I liked the part where she convinces the cop to let her go, and then later on convinces the guard that she knows the password. That was kind of fun. There were fun moments in it. I just can't say it's best ever. It's fine. Fine Spielberg movie. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, the compassion angle. Why would the aliens have compassion for the humans? Add that beat up on some of the other aliens that were alien group before. Why would they forgive them? I didn't think they would. I like the part where the nun says, well, on earth as it is in heaven. She says, well, let God creation on earth. Out there, it's different. In heaven. In the heavens. I don't know if a nun would actually say that, but that was funny. Also their house recreation of the alien abduction, where it was more like they put the ability to read the alien math language in the boy when he was a boy and now he's a man, and put the ability to speak the language in the even gave him the interpretation and gave her the to speak the alien language, the ability to speak the alien language, and yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I'm just pointing out parts of the movie. It's like it was okay, and where it went, and that's kind of yeah, it was perfectly fine. I'm not going to make the review very long. I'm not really going to compare it to anything from my stuff because it isn't. No, there you go.